Okay, hi everyone. Lecture just before the end of the day, so don't worry, I'll try to be with high energy to wake you up. And this talk will be about incident management. Why do we need to talk about incident management? Because everything fails all the time. Okay? Who said this sentence before? Me throughout my entire career, but I think it's quite odd to quote myself, so I'm not gonna do it. So take the word for it from AWS CTO, Werner Vogels, he said it too, okay? So everything fails all the time. Production environments and dev environments, pipelines, things that we build, things that we buy, even the systems that we rely on, our monitoring systems to understand if production is up or down, they can also be down. So everything fails all the time, and this is why we should be equipped in managing production incidents, because I don't know who of you are developers or who DevOps. I'm a DevOps engineer, so it's not only on the realm of me and whoever managed production entirely, but also developers should be familiar with how to manage incidents, because sometimes the issue will happen in your realm only, and then you will need to take it and take the lead. So this is why we should know how to manage incidents. So first of all, hi, my name is Hila Fish. I'm a senior DevOps engineer. I have more than 15 years of experience in the tech industry, which means for you that I've seen and handled a lot of incidents. Startups, enterprises, when I was on call, when I wasn't on call. So I did a lot of things and saw a lot of things, and this is why I'm equipped to come here and talk to you about this. So, what is the agenda for today? We will talk about, first of all, the mindset that we need in order to manage incidents, then a structured process for incident management, and then on-call traits. Basically, what should you have in order to manage incidents efficiently, and how we can improve those traits, and being proactive, things that we can do on the day-to-day and after an incident took place that will help us come prepared for incidents. So, just to have a baseline here, what is an incident management? It is a set of procedures and actions taken to resolve critical incidents. Basically, an end-to-end process that defines how incidents are detected and communicated, who's responsible to handle them, what tools are used to investigate and respond to them, and what steps are taken towards resolution. So the thing here is that we should first of all, reframe our perspectives. Some people are in a mindset of putting out fires, and if something happens, we need to just deal with it very erratically. But I'm saying that, first of all, we need to even understand if it is an incident, because not all pages that we get in PagerDuty or OpsGenie are incidents. When it is an incident, when it is there is a loss or potential loss in revenues, customers, data, and reputation. And if we don't have a structured process to manage incidents, then we could potentially lose valuable data. Downtime could lead to reduced productivity and revenues, and the business could be held liable to breach of service level agreements, SLAs. So it's good to have a structured process. And why, first of all, how do we have structured process? Once we have the business mindset. And business mindset starts with the notion of not only thinking about our systems, and we as developers say that, hey, I love to use Kubernetes, you love to use React, whatever, but technology is great, but we should think about the why. Why are we doing things in a certain way? Why is this incident an actual incident? Why is it needs to be handled right now? So we need to understand the why, and basically business mindset is needed in order to grasp the overall impact of incidents and mitigate damages. And why? Because again, everything fails all the time. Okay, so we need to really address that and be prepared as much as possible. So you could probably think to yourself, a structured process of an incident, how could it be? Like, incidents are mayhem by nature. How can I be prepared for it? So I will show you in a bit. But basically, a structured process will help us, it will lead to incidents prevention, improved mean time to resolution, cost reduction because downtime was reduced or eliminated entirely, and also to preserve our business customers and reputation. So this is the structure that I'm gonna show you here. We have 5 pillars, and I will show you questions in each pillar that will help you progress towards the next pillar. But beforehand, I want to just share that in my entire career, I met two types of people during an incident. The ones that say, keep calm, I'm an engineer. And the ones that say, I can't keep calm, I'm an engineer. So these are the two types that I met, but I can guarantee that if you can keep calm, if you ask yourselves the questions that I'm gonna share with you here, and then it will help you lower the stress levels and structure the incident management process. First phase, identify and categorize. First of all, we need to understand, do I understand the full extent of the problem and the business impact? If so, great, and we can progress to the next step. If not, we need to gather more information because maybe we have an alert, but we are not sure what is the effect because again, business mindset, we need to understand the business impact. So first of all, we need to understand what is the full extent of the issue and what to do with it. Then, can this issue, and I'm saying issue on purpose and not incident because again, not every page that we get is an incident. Is this issue or incident should wait or can wait and be handled in business hours? If you're not sure, ask someone, use the information that you got and escalate if needed. And was I notified about this issue from proper channels? Because if I got to know about this issue from a user complaint, this is bad. If I got it from a page in PagerDuty or Opportunity, this is good. So if I got notified about it from proper channels, this is good. If not, add a note to self to fix it, aka a Jira ticket to handle. Next pillar, notify and escalate. Who should be notified about this incident? We have several people to alert here. Customer-facing, internal clients, and management. So customer-facing, if it is a critical incident that they need to communicate to customers and say, hey, we know the system is down, we are currently working on it, please be, thank you for your patience, blah, blah, blah. And internal clients, maybe there are internal teams that have flows that rely on the system that is currently compromised. So they should know, hey, your flow is probably not going to work because the system is currently down. Don't worry, we will let you know when it is up. And management, if it is a critical incident, they should know something is up and we are on it. So this is about notification, but also we have escalation. Does this incident needs escalation? Other teams for resolution, so maybe I have an incident, I checked my side of things, all good on my side, but the issue is on other team, like maybe database. So I need to escalate for another team, but also escalation for FYI, as I mentioned, support or customer engineers teams that needs to communicate and escalate it for, the levels of that they mentioned to the customers themselves. Like we have a critical incident and we are on it. Next pillar, investigate and diagnose. We need to understand what information is relevant towards the incident resolution, aka focus on what's important and relevant right now. And you might think it's pretty obvious, but in my entire career, when I dealt with people and I tried to fix issues, people just talk and talk and talk and don't really focus on what's important right now, and then they pull to different directions. And focusing on the non-relevant will throw you off route and make you lose valuable time during debugging. So always try to focus on the relevant information. And also remember that system flows are comprised usually from a lot of parts, and you need to focus on the relevant phase for debugging, but also for escalation. Maybe there is a database issue. The database guy don't care about the entire flow, how it connects to the database. Say, hey, I got this error X. When I try X, please fix that. So focus on the relevant information. Okay, I did some debugging. I checked some stuff out. Now, did I find the root cause and do I understand the root cause? If so, great. But if not, I need to investigate some more and escalate if it takes long. And why escalate? Because of business mindset. We need to avoid breaching SLAs, and we need to care about the business and not just our curiosity of fixing issues. And we also need to prioritize root causes over surface level symptoms, meaning if I have an alert of service is down on server X, I could go and start the service and that's it, or I can be a little bit better engineer and check why the service got stopped in the first place, because then it could potentially expose underlying issue that could harm the system even more. So always prioritize root causes over surface level symptoms. Next pillar, resolve and recovery. I debugged, I found the root cause. Now maybe I have several things that I can do in order to fix the issue. Which possible remediation step is the best one to take? So we need to choose the fastest solution to eliminate downtime without compromising systems health and stability. Why fast? If it's in the middle of the night, we want to go back to sleep, of course. But also for the business, right? We need to have the service up and running as soon as possible. And are any action items needed after resolving the issue? So for example, in the middle of the night, all the stakeholders decided that we can't do a full-blown solution right now. We need to have a fix, just a patch. So if you do the patch, of course, permanently fix it. We don't want to have band-aids in production. But also, preventing recurring issue is a priority, because if not, the business is wasting money and resources on making the same people fixing the issues over and over again. It's a waste. So always make sure that we have stable environment and we take care of things properly. But when I say any action items, everything. Maybe you notice something that should be fixed in general, not even related to the incident. So any action items needed after the incident resolution, this is the place to open a Jira ticket about that now. And last but not least, even upon the closure of the incident itself, we have some stuff to do. So, did I notify do I need to notify anyone upon incident closure? So basically the same people that I notified at the beginning, I need to also notify at the end. Be an end-to-end communicator. So think about that. Another thing, were the alerts okay? Or maybe do they need tweaking? Because maybe I need to change alert severity, or maybe I need to fix false positives or tweak in any other way. So this is the time to do it after the incident is done. Let's talk about incident runbooks. Runbooks are basically procedures that you write that are very helpful for managing incidents that require some sort of, let's say, judgment. So if this happens, we need to do X, but if this happens, but coupled with a dashboard or something, then we need to do Y. So anything that requires some sort of judgment, we should have it structured in a process that is basically a document that you specify, and that way it will help you fix incidents later on. So check if there is a relevant runbook for that incident. If so, great, but check it if it is up to date, because I had cases where I had a runbook, I followed it until a certain point, and then it was no longer relevant. The commands stopped working. So make sure you don't only have the runbook, but they're actually up to date. Can I help prevent similar or any incidents from occurring? Because let's say during the incident, I came across the fact that there is no log rotate on the servers, and then it means bummer, because when I need to debug, it will take a lot of time to grab stuff from the log. So log rotates not only on the server. If you notice it on one server, maybe they don't exist on other servers as well. So open a ticket not only for that server, but to even do a recursive check on all servers to see if there are log rotates. So this is only one example, but anything that comes to mind after that incident, if you can prevent similar or any incidents from happening, this is the time to open Jira tickets about it. But okay, don't put them only in the backlog. Try to push them to the sprints. Okay. And does this incident require a post-mortem? For those of you who don't know, post-mortem is a meeting that we usually have when there is a critical incident, and then we have this meeting to learn from this incident and see how can we have done better. So the purpose of this meeting is to learn, okay? So if the culture of this meeting is to blame, don't be in this company, okay? It shouldn't be like that. So we should learn from it. So if there should be an incident post-mortem after this incident, then jot down the notes as soon as possible while it's still fresh in your mind, because that way you will have an effective meeting because you have all the details and they're accurate. But even if you don't need to have a post-mortem, still share the knowledge through a runbook, through a daily brief, and then people can learn from your line of thought and basically learn from what happened, and it's a win-win for everyone. Okay, so that was a structure for how to manage incidents in general. Now I want to talk to you about a war room. War room is when there are usually more than 4 or 5 people that needs to manage an incident, usually from cross teams, but sometimes it could be also from the same team. And they need to manage a big incident, critical one, and that's why we need some more than 4 or 5 people. And let me tell you a story about that. So in one of my previous companies that I worked for, it was during COVID times. I was new at the company, just a month in, and then there was this big critical incident. They created the Zoom session for the war room. I joined. I just meant to just be a fly on the wall, listen in, and I knew that I will learn stuff just by listening. So I joined, a fly on the wall, that's it. Then they talk and talk and talk. And then I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, nothing happens, nothing progress towards actual resolution. So then I couldn't bear it. So I unmuted myself. I said, hi everyone, my name is Hila. For those of you who don't know me, because I was a month in, let me help you with this incident because I see that nothing progress towards nowhere. So let me help you. And basically I took upon myself the role of being an incident manager. So what did I do? For example, I heard someone say that once the incident gets fixed, we need to start the application in a certain order for it to work. And then I asked them, is there a runbook for that? No. Why is it important? Because if the incident gets fixed, I don't know, 2 a.m. and this person is not available, we couldn't wait for them to wake up and be available, right? We need someone to do it. So I told them, hey, you sit down, write a runbook, so whoever wants to start the application can know how to do it because they have a runbook. And basically, I started to divide the work, and then things started to go towards resolution. So an incident manager needs to divide the work, tell people what to do in a calm and collected manner. They should see things clearly and also not afraid to reduce people's involvement if it doesn't serve the purpose, because if the war room is there's too many people, it will be too noisy. And especially some people don't like being around too many people when the situation is stressful enough. The people that sit and then there's this person that stand above them and just looking. It's stressful. So if you did something, you helped in the war room, great, thank you so much. Now please go away. And we will call you if we need you again. Okay? So that's about that. Okay. Another thing that I want to cover here are necessary qualities for being an incident manager. Of course, there are much more than 10, but these are the ones that I think are worthwhile to bring to you. And also I have some tips on how to improve those, each one. So first of all, you need to think on your feet. Be an impromptu action taker, because sometimes the incident will be something that you are familiar with, and sometimes it will be something that is in an uncharted territory. You need to think on your feet and be ready for anything. Easier said than done, right? Let's see how can we practice it. You can participate in brainstorming sessions. These type of sessions are basically like ping pong sessions where he said something and then she got reminded and said something else. And these kind of things basically train your mind to think on your feet. So once you actually do it, then on real time, when the incident occurs, then you'll have more easier time to think on your feet because of that. So this is one way to do it. I said it before, and I'm going to say it again because, again, it's very, very important, okay? Differentiate relevant from irrelevant information. I've seen a lot of people it seems obvious, but really, it's not. We need to differentiate the information to really focus on what's important right now. And how do we practice it? By learning system flows. So the more you know how a system works, the more your ability to separate the relevant from the non-relevant information increases. Operate under pressure. I have a story about that too. So in another company that I worked for, I was also new and also had an incident of 200 alerts. I don't know why it keeps on happening when I'm new at companies. I have no idea. But it happened. I was new. I was on my first on-call shift. Then, bam, pager duty, 200 alerts. So I assessed the situations in 2 minutes. And then I was in the office. I called my buddy because I was new. So I was assigned a buddy to help me with onboarding. And he sat next to me. And I'm like, okay, we have this. I checked this and this. Not sure what to go next. Now what? Crickets. Nothing. Because I talked to the screens. And then I'm looking at the guy, and he's like looking at the two screens, and he's shocked. He's totally shocked. He's looking at them. Oh my God, too many alerts. So many alerts. Oh my God. I'm like, dude, snap out of it. It doesn't help anyone. And he was like 2 years there, and still. So pressure could happen. Okay, I'm not saying that it's not, but we need to remember that stress is a symptom of being out of control. So what can we do about it? Collect relevant information, because again, also the relevant, everything links together. So collection of relevant data will help you decrease stress levels, because when you know what to do, you are in control. So gather information. It will help you with debugging, setting things in motion, and relieve pressure levels. Another thing, work methodical. It will help you with faster incident resolution, because as we know, in incidents, time is of the essence, and there is pressure to solve things fast, and methodical work will help you gain faster incident resolution. How do we do that? I just show you the structure process, just a couple of slides ago. Follow this, and it will help you with methodical work when it comes to incident management. This one I really, really like. If you are stuck and you don't know what to do during an incident, be humble, ask for help, because it's not your time to shine. It's okay not to know everything during an incident. Not everyone knows everything. And you also have a lot of opportunities in your day-to-day to prove your worth, to prove yourself, and just show that you're awesome. But the best way to prove yourself during an incident is to take a step back if you don't know what to do and escalate an issue that you can't resolve on your own. Because that way you have the business interest at heart, and they will more appreciate you because of that, and even if you didn't solve the issue yourself. So some people are not really have the tendency to ask for help. So how can you practice it? Make a habit out of it. How can you do that? Let's say you have a task at work, you're not sure what to do, and you probably have this resilience enough to go and search and ask people around. So before you do it, and I have this team member that just reads everything and he doesn't ask for help. So you can still practice it. If you don't act independently, just wait 10 minutes, ask for your team members' help. Just ask for help. It will train this tendency to ask for help, and then during the real times, when incident will take place and you don't know what to do, you will have more tendency to ask for help and escalate. Problem solver, whatever is needed. So basically, it means to have a can-do approach, and I'll explain through a story. So I was in a team, wasn't on call, my team member was on call, and they didn't know what to do, so they approached me to help them. They didn't have any leads, so they asked me what to do next. I wasn't too familiar with that system, but I had some leads, I had some things to check, and then I said, okay, let's check this, let's check that. And then this person said, no, I don't feel it's related. It doesn't feel related. I'm like, dude, do you have other leads? No. So let's continue. Let's be in motion and check things, especially if you don't have any other leads. So have a can-do approach. Don't be negative. Don't say not sure, not that. It's very important to be in motion, because this helps us figure things out. So that's that. Sense of ownership and initiative. Another story. I was on call, 2 a.m., had an incident, checked my side of things. It wasn't on my side, it was on database. So I called the guy, hi, sorry to wake you up. I have an issue with database X, have error Y, please help. He said, okay, I'm on it. Okay, 10 minutes, again, 12 minutes, no updates. I have no idea, maybe got back to sleep. I have really zero idea. So that's the thing. Even though I escalated to him, and even though we are all grown-ups, still the alert was mine. I got the alert, I should be responsible for that. So I should check what's going on. I should verify that the person is on it. So that's why you should check statuses. Like after 10 minutes, I sent him a message, are you on it? Do you need help? Something? Yeah, I'm checking, okay, good. But if you're telling me, if you're communicating with me, just short message, like after 5 minutes, I'm still on it, all good. Just make sure that the ball wasn't dropped. That's the thing. So you are on call, and even if you escalated the issue, again, you're still responsible, and you need to be end-to-end handler, and you need to make sure that other people are handling the issue. Good communicator. So we have to have good communication during and to manage incidents, because we need to explain the issues to others, helping out during escalation, or we need to communicate the issue for FYI, for customer engineers and customer success teams, stuff like that. So communication is very, very important. But again, not everyone is very good with communication, and that's okay. So what can we do with that? We can establish communication guidelines. So basically, a process can be defined that will actually underline what channels should be used, what content should we expect in those channels, and how communication should be documented. And then even if it's not coming from the person itself, they just follow a procedure, and that way all the needed communication is being overlaid, and that's great. Lead without authority. This is more relevant for war room scenarios and when you have more than 2 people managing an incident. So if you are nice and confident and you make people feel at ease and you project and everything is under control facade, people will listen to you and follow your lead. So that's why they listened to me when I joined the Zoom session, because the entire month I did try to engage myself as much as possible, and that's why they didn't shut me out and did listen to me. So how can you practice it? How can you practice this lead without authority thing? You can manage meetings at work. They're like sync meetings or demos and stuff like that. These are the places where you can both practice the lead without authority, but also showcase your ability to lead, because if you do it constantly in your day-to-day, then if something happens in an incident, people will listen to you, and not like if you were shy and very not speaking your mind through the entire time, and then all of a sudden you try to lead, probably they wouldn't listen to you and will listen to someone else that is more, I wouldn't say vocal, but people that tend more to lead and manage projects and scenarios. So if you, in your day-to-day, will manage meetings like sync and demos and stuff like that, then during the real time, you will be able to lead without authority. And our last, I don't know if it's characteristics, you will see. But the most important thing, you can't do anything in what I'm showing in this entire presentation without care. You have to care. You need to care about the people that you work with. You need to care about the systems. You need to care about the business. You need to just care. And how do you practice care? Well, there is an actual way to do it. Get more involved. Ask the questions to find your motivation, and then it will help you immerse yourself in the day-to-day and find your motivation, find the way you care, and then you'll be able to do all the things that I showcase in this presentation. Okay, so let's do a summary here. We covered the mindset that you should have as an incident manager. We covered incident flow. How can we make it a structured process? We covered on-call traits, how to be better characteristic-wise for acting as an incident manager. Now I wanna show you here how to be proactive, both in day-to-day and after an incident took place, in order to come prepared for incidents. And why should we come prepared for incidents? Because as the Fugees said, ready or not, here they come, you can't hide, okay? Same thing. It doesn't really matter if you are prepared for incidents. PagerDuty, Opsgenie, whatever app that you're using will find you, so you better come prepared. So what can we do after the fact, after an incident took place? On-call shifts, handoffs. I'm not sure this is something that is being done in all companies, but in every company that I work for, I bring it to my team. Basically, on-call shifts, they change in different companies. Some people do it like throughout the entire week. Some people do it if they have other time zones, they do half a day, and the people in the other time zone do the half day, whatever. It doesn't matter, it applies to everyone. So whenever I finished a day or a shift in my on-call shift, I write a summary in Slack about things that happened in the on-call shift. Things like, I suppressed false positive alert, I had recurrent issue, alert X is waiting for dev to check things out, stuff like that. And you write your shift summary so your team members will benefit from it for their on-call shifts and also for audit purposes, because then you can search for it on Slack. So whatever happens, this is the way that your team members know what happens in production without being on-call, because some, especially in big teams, I can be on-call in like once in a month and a half. I need to know what's going on in production during this time. So reading and having this on-call shifts handoffs, this is the way to go. Post-mortem notes, as I mentioned, if you write the notes as soon as possible, then the meeting will be much more effective and more accurate and will help you understand more conclusions. New tasks. Think about anything that could prevent the next incident or stabilize the environment, and this will help you come prepared or even prevent incidents altogether. Modify alerts. If you came across false positive alerts, please fix them. Don't wait for the on-call to do it, because they will wait for the on-call to do it and they will then it will never happen. So please fix false positive alerts. Runbooks, as I also mentioned, make sure there are runbooks in place that will help you and the future you and your team members come prepared for other incidents. Automation, maybe you detected candidates for self-remediation, like these cleanups, stuff like that can be done and then can prevent incidents as well. And if the issue was handled, great, share the knowledge more in depth than in the on-call handoff, because people can learn from your line of thought, can learn from how you approach things, and again, it's a win-win for everyone. So these are the things you can do after an incident took place. What can you do in your regular day-to-day when everything is calm and everything is good? The on-call shifts handoffs that I mentioned before, read them on an ongoing basis. It shouldn't be long. It should be just a summary, but this is your way to know what's going on in production without being on-call. So it's very important because production happens all the time, right? And plus, maybe you could also pitch in and help make things better, because seeing things from the side will help in a lot of scenarios. And I came across people that write stuff in the summary, and then I ask, hey, why this and not that? And it actually prevent other incident or fixed it very, very quickly. And other people did it too. So it's very useful to do that. Escalation point of contacts. You probably know the needed pieces of information related to your realm. My realm is infrastructure. But the thing here is that you should also know the other realms as well and have the full picture. So for example, let's say there's an issue with X. I know that John is handling X from the side of dev, and that way I know to escalate to them as soon as possible. So identifying services escalation point of contact on day-to-day basis and not only ad hoc when an incident takes place will save time and of course money on the incident management itself, and also save someone else's hours of sleep, because maybe I need to wake my team leader up just to ask who's responsible for X. So they will resent me, and I don't want them to really get resented, but also I want to progress very, very fast. So if I know these bits of information up front, it will help me escalate very, very quickly. Understand system architecture. That way we know what's prone to fail and have a go-to to fix it. So we should put an emphasis specifically on weaker areas of the system and vulnerabilities, and also sensitive and blast radius scopes, because these are the things that probably will have a tendency more to break than others. Learn application flows. So here it's about the flows between systems, as opposed to the previous bullet, which was about the flow and architecture of one system to know its ins and outs. Here it's about flows between applications. So if you know application flows, it will help you with troubleshooting. So I know what needs to be checked, in which order, and it will contribute to the methodical debugging. And it will also help you incorporate the business mindset, because then you can understand if escalation is even needed, if this issue is actually an incident, etc. Team members' tasks. It's very easy for me to focus only on my tasks, but again, production changes through other team members as well, the stuff that they do, and not only through my changes. So get involved, be aware of latest changes that could potentially rock the boat, and learn how their tasks affect production. And if on the previous bullet we talked about potential changes, here we talk about actual, like definite changes in production. So ask about the change and its possible impact, because again, Opsgenie, PagerDuty doesn't care if you didn't do the change by yourself. They will call you anyway if you are on call. So better be prepared and understand what the change is about, how do you do rollback, is it even possible to do rollback, etc. And that way you'll be more prepared to what's going on. And last but not least, be a go-to person. As they say, if you build it, they will come. So if you are a go-to person, you will get push notifications, and it will decrease the need to fetch the updates on your own, because people will come to you to consult, to know what's going on, and you will know everything that's happening even without the need to go and fetch the updates by yourself. So that's the whole holistic approach, in my opinion. This is how I view incident management. So have a business mindset, make it a structured process, have your qualities in check, and be proactive. And that way, it could help you come prepared to any incident that will cross your way and hopefully prevent the next incident from happening. And remember, less incidents means less downtime, means business success, which is eventually your success. Plus, you get to preserve much needed hours of sleep. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, this is the time.
Raise your hand and I will call.
Yes. Mic is important. We want the people at home that watch afterwards.
Thank you so much for the presentation. You have established a small policy in 5 steps. How do you make sure that everybody in the company follows that policy? How do you remind about that?
So it really depends, I would say, on the culture of the company, because if the company knows how to work with processes, then introducing another process is just, okay, all good, and we can just follow it up. If they don't, and they just work in mayhem in general, like in project management or other things, it will be more tricky. So if the latter happens, you need to showcase why this is so important. Management will eat it up because it helps save money, of course, but the people will eat it up, I assume, because it will also prevent burnout. Because if you do things that I showcased here, it could prevent incidents from reoccurring. And who wants to wake up every night just to start a service, right? So you should showcase what it benefits from them, and then they would like, okay, I want to fix. I don't want to wake up again. Showcase what is the interest for them, and then they will probably want to follow your lead.
Can I follow up?
Yes.
You mean like have a Confluence website or have regular meetings about reminding this actual policy?
I would start with, let's say, a workshop. Okay, I would start because this is what I did in my previous company. I did a workshop for the entire R&D, showcase this, and then follow it up with a document to just remind people on the steps. And then based on the feedback that I get, I know what are the weaker areas, like do they don't remember what to do, or some things that I showcase doesn't really fit what they do, and then I need to tweak it maybe. But first of all, you need to showcase it, showcase why it's important for them to follow it later, and also back it up with documentation that will help them get reminded of what needs to be done. But the incident runbooks is a very strong tool to do it, because you can, if you use, I use PagerDuty, whenever you get an alert, you have a label of runbook, and then you can attach to a specific incident, attach a link to the runbook. And then it's super easy, you have runbook, so these little things can already put things in, not really a box, but in structure, and that way, it just like it will put things in motion. Like I already use runbooks, might as well follow the steps in order to do it more methodically. So that's how I view it. Anything else? Going once, going twice. Okay. Anyway, if you have any questions that comes to mind afterwards, I'll be the entire day here, so you can catch me. I'll be the shortest one here probably. So I'll be here to discuss anything on incident management, on DevOps, or open source even, whatever you'd like. Thanks again for being here. Thank you.